on Timebomb, Derifield. Welcome, Shaun.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bud.
So a lot of our viewers are East Coast folks, Shaun. So I'm going to introduce you a little bit and then talk about yourself. But Shaun
Okay.
is a promoter and puller out of what state again, Shaun?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I couldn't remember if it was Missouri or Minnesota, but Minnesota with exploding arms. I follow your group a lot, and I love what you do. You have some of the most badass flyers I've seen, by the way. But I think, are you a tattoo? Are you an artist yourself?
Yeah. I'm a tattoo artist. Been tattooing for 20 years. I've owned my shop now for 9 years.
Nice. So
And
do you
one of
design
my
all your
artists
own?
at the shop actually made the flyers, all my flyers for me.
That's what I was wondering if you designed them or if the guys at the shop or whoever at the shop had a hand in design because I think they're badass. That's why I bought a shirt from you when I first started pulling because I was like, that is a badass shirt. I think I got to
Thanks,
get
man.
that shirt. Just take a sec. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Shaun. Tell them about your team, where you're from, and how long you've been pulling and whatnot.
Okay, well, I'm Shaun. Time Bomb. Everybody calls me Time Bomb. I was a little rowdy when I was younger, so I kind of got that nickname. It stuck. From Minnesota. Our club is Bomb Squad Arm Wrestling. We're getting pretty big now. We got a pretty big group, about 15 of us now. And I also train a lot with Minnesota Arm Sports, Josh Hanlon and stuff. He's kind of like a mentor to me, helps me, win my matches and all that good stuff.
Nice.
I've
What
been
weight
pulling,
class are you, Shaun? What's one thing I couldn't tell?
I compete at 154.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to be doing that much longer because I'm just getting bigger and stronger, and
Yeah.
like I'm walking around 170. So it's hard to cut that weight now,
Y'all
especially
lightweights.
at my age.
Y'all with lightweights is much harder for y'all to cut weight at that, than us thicker boys. We've got a little more loving to get rid of.
Yeah. I feel like it's easier to cut weight when you got a little bit of body fat, though. You could suck that water out a little easier.
Yeah, yeah. I know y'all stay pretty active. Everything I follow on Facebook with your team. What let's before we get into like your upcoming events because I just saw a recent flyer today. Y'all had posted. What have y'all had going on lately as a team with Bomb Squad, Explode Arms? What have y'all had going on lately from an event standpoint?
What have we done lately?
Yeah.
Well, we've been only doing 2 events a year. Our last event was in August. Oh no, I'm sorry, February.
Yeah, I
The end
thought
of
it was one
February
recent.
there. Yeah, it was a pretty big event, over 260 entries.
Oh hell yeah!
So it was pretty awesome. The news was there. I mean, my wife is just the best at like internet and getting all of that stuff seen. She's the brains, I just know all the athletes and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome to have that support too. That she gets it, she understands it. So I see a lot of her stuff. I assumed it wasn't you talking in the third person when it would be talking about you on there. I assumed it was your wife probably doing some promoting
Yeah,
for you.
she does all that for me.
That's awesome.
We also just we had a couple super matches recently. The person I was supposed to have the match with, he had a family problem, couldn't make it, but we had some replacements, and I won both of those. That was pretty cool.
Nice, nice. Now, what's your style? What's your technique? Are you a top roller, a hooker? What do you?
I am a top roller, yes.
Yeah,
I like top rolling. I'm really strong in the back, so I can pull back pretty hard.
yeah.
I don't like being in the hook, especially on my right side. My right side's not so good. I have a neck fusion, so
Mm.
it like did a lot of nerve damage to the right side, so it's just never been the same after that.
So you're predominantly left.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Y'all are a dying breed. It's not a whole lot of predominantly left guys out there. We've only got one on our team that's, and I wouldn't even say he's predominantly left. He's just better left. I think he couldn't care less what he pulls, but he's better left. And there's just not many of y'all out there still that or
The strength difference for me is like so dramatic. I mean, it's probably over 50% stronger on my left side for like bicep strength.
Nice. I don't even pull left. I had an injury last March, and I've pretty much hung it up since then. Just my 14-year-old daughter, I can't even hit her with back pressure. It just hurts so bad through that. I have nothing.
Maybe she's just too strong.
Yeah, maybe that's it. That's it. Well, the y'all. I saw a flyer today, maybe I think I shared it. Y'all got an event coming up in June. It was a June or
It's
when?
August, I think
August.
August 3rd. So yeah, that one's going to be a pretty big thing. We got some good super matches. My daughter, for one, she's got a big super match with the number one girl in Wisconsin, Shauna Wagner,
Now, how
and
old's your daughter?
my daughter. My oldest daughter is 24,
Nice.
and she's something special. I'm telling you, that girl's going to go all the way to the top.
Now, what's her name? I got now because now we'll have to go follow her. Now, what's her name?
Her name's Lexi.
Lexi Derifield.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's killing it. She's number one here in Minnesota, both arms.
Shoot.
So yeah,
So
she's been tearing it up.
you're not even the talent of the family, are you, Shaun? She's the talent. She's the
No,
talent.
she's definitely the big deal.
That's awesome, dude. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna go follow her when we hop off and see what
Oh,
she got
she's
going on.
she's
That's
training.
awesome.
She trains every day up at 7 o'clock in the morning. We go to the gym. I mean, we train 6 days a week, every week. I mean, unless we're beat up a little bit, we might take an extra day off, but we're very consistent on our training.
Is she a 154 or 154 plus?
She's 154 plus.
You know, did you see that event they had down in Tennessee this past weekend
Oh,
with the
that
females?
was awesome. That
Wow,
was really awesome.
wow, what great! That's great for female pullers. Very happy to see that happening. Shout out to Lorraine Jenkins and Beast Mode Arm Wrestling. That is a phenomenal. And you know, at Time Bomb, like me and y'all at Bomb Squad, Exploding Arms. To me, Beast Mode's really set the tone for the what used to be small clubs and promotions getting much bigger now, and really it gives a lot of motivation, encouragement for us, like to put on events and things like that. And when I stole I ain't gonna say stole, but obviously it was influenced by them for the round robin I just hosted for the 176ers. Was influenced by, motivated by them as well. So we just had a nice turnout of 176 round robin in Stoneville, North Carolina this past weekend. And then at that same event, we had 25 super matches take place in parallel.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
impressive. I haven't got to sit down and watch it yet, but I'm going to sit down and probably watch it tomorrow morning when I got a little bit of free time.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take on. The round robin turned out phenomenal. I had picked, I didn't announce it before then, but I kind of wrote down on the sheet it was leading up to who I picked to win it. And I picked Alec Guth out of PA to win it. And I'm not sure if you've ever locked up with him or not, but he did end up coming second. And the only person he lost to all day was Joe Rogers from South Carolina, who ended up taking first. But
wow.
I tiered it A and B by level. You know, the tier A was a little bit higher. I don't want to say lower skill level; they were just higher. You know, A was, and it was 8 of those and 7 in the tier B. And then at the end, the top 3 from each came into a playoff with one another, and it was exciting as hell. I'm not gonna lie. So if you get a chance to watch, you definitely should. Sure.
I'm definitely going to do that. Definitely. I did a round robin back in winter. It was pretty fun. Actually, went undefeated left, and I lost 1 to 1 guy right-handed.
Oh shoot! Where was that at?
That was in Duluth. Was it Duluth? I think it's in Duluth, somewhere in Minnesota here.
Yeah. Nice.
It was pretty awesome. We're supposed to be doing another one, a 176 in October, because I'm getting called out in that weight class now. So I'm gonna go do that and see if I can get top 5 left-handed on the 76 class on top of 54.
Yeah. So can y'all be in Minnesota? Can you be ranked in multiple weight classes in Minnesota?
As long as you're competing in both in the same year, you know, like if you don't compete in one for a year, you're gonna be booted off.
Now, where are you ranked at in Minnesota's rankings left?
Left-handed number 2, and I think I'm number 4 right-handed or number 3. I'm not exactly sure.
I see Jamie James, he's more of a 165er out of Virginia's logged on. So Jamie, I hope you just getting your eye on Time Bomb here. It might be a future matchup for y'all. Jamie's a guy of Virginia that I've had the pleasure of getting to know in the last year. Phenomenal. He's been pulling at 154. He just pulled in that 76er, but with all the different states now with the IFA weight classes, 165s are popping up everywhere now. So it's like,
I love that weight class. That's my favorite one.
Oh yeah, I'm a 209er naturally. You know, I only have to lose like 8 pounds for 209, and whereas when I was cutting to 198, 20 pounds is rough.
Yeah, I cut 20 pounds for the last tournament in 5 days.
Oh man, and that's hard for a 54, dude. That's hard.
I was sick the day I competed. I still came in second, but I was sick.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. So you touched base on training with Lexi earlier. Let's talk a little bit about y'all's uh, um, training, yours, your teams, Lexi's, everyone's training program that y'all do. How y'all, whether it's mainly gym, whether it's table time, how often? Because the reason I like it, because still being a learning puller myself, I like to uh, see what the guys has been doing for a while and just compare myself to them from a training standpoint.
Right on, right on. So we basically train 6 days a week. We do not train on Mondays, and we don't work on Mondays. Shit gets misspelled on Mondays, so we don't go to work. No, but so like Mondays is like it's strength training more for. We do a push routine, so we do chest and triceps, and then on Wednesday we do back and biceps, arm wrestling specific
Mhm.
style, forearms, all that. And then Wednesday we'll do legs on Wednesday. I know it's weird for arm wrestlers to do legs, but we do legs. And the end of the week we do shoulders, and I do triceps twice a week, so I'll do shoulders and triceps and traps on my final day. And then usually on the other days we're just doing like strict movements for arm wrestling. I have a pulley system set up at my house that we constantly use in tables. So more weightlifting, and then every Sunday we have practice.
Okay.
So
So once a
usually
week you're on
practice
the
once a
table.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So
So you
that,
said
that
you said y'all's team's made up of about 15 right now.
yeah, we got about 15 guys showing up
That's a good size.
weekly.
That's
And
that's a
then
good
the
size.
Minnesota Arm Sports, they usually have like between 20 and 30 people. That's where I'm going to go
Really?
to their practice tomorrow.
Now, if you roughly how many teams are in the state of Minnesota? You think, if you had to put a number on it?
I think there's four teams. There's Minnesota Arm Sports, there's the Duluth guys, there's our club, and then there's one other club. I'm not sure of the name. So
Yeah.
there's four of them, and they're all pretty much within an hour.
Okay. The
So
North Carolina, I'd say in the last 2 years we've had an additional 3 or 4 teams pop up. Really, ourselves, Savage House, Gym, Team Savage, and then but before that, we had about four core teams in North Carolina. But I'd say we're up about 7. Levi Rakowski logging on. What's up, Levi? How you doing, buddy? Nice win this past weekend, by the way. But we've got a lot of talent in the state of North Carolina. I can't. I'm really trying to venture out. That's why one reason I wanted to have you on the show is because we're really trying to network and get to know folks from other states and getting to learn. Because obviously, as promoters, it's easy to stay inside our small network in our state, but I really like to venture out. I'm blessed to be able to travel a little bit, so if I see
yeah,
something great that Bomb Squad's putting on, a couple months in advance to save up some money, might be able to make it up there soon.
yeah, you gotta check it out. This one's gonna be big. I think we're gonna have over 300 pullers this time.
Wow. I guess I didn't know Minnesota arm wrestling was like that. When you think about, I'm mainly on the East Coast, so we're thinking, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, PA. When you think on the East Coast, but I guess in that Midwest, that central part of the country, I guess Minnesota's really is blowing up as
We
well.
get a lot of Illinois and Wisconsin guys, and
Okay.
there Minnesota and Illinois have a lot of arm wrestlers, so they're all coming up. We actually have Cole Casper is going to have a super match with Tim Lewis at our event coming up.
Okay. Yeah,
So that's gonna be a good one. People are
Tim's
gonna
a
see
good
that.
Tim's a good friend. We're at a ton of events together. He just pulled in my event this past weekend. Um, I pulled Gage Bostwick out of South Carolina in a left-hand match. He won in 5. It was a hell of a battle. It's a great matchup. Tim's a catcher. He likes to catch, whereas
Mm-hmm.
Gage, he's a speedy hitter. So I knew it was going to be a war going into that just because styles were so much different. And Tim's a grinder. I say it all the time, and he's the most active man in arm wrestling. He is a
Every
freaking
weekend he's got a super match. Every weekend.
freaking grinder, dude. I was just up in Ohio pulling back in what was that late April, and he co-hosted that with Randall Bladen. And once again, hanging out with Tim. Tim didn't have a super match, but I think he won his weight class in the tournament. I believe that's right. Once again, just staying busy all the time, dude. That's why he keeps improving.
It's awesome. Got to be consistent, man.
Yeah.
That's the key to everything in life.
What's up, Jacob Green out of West Virginia? Top hands pulling team. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Dan the Man Atkins, thanks for joining us once again, also out of Top Hands Pulling Team. Thank y'all for showing Time Bomb some love and tuning in. So, Time Bomb, talk about. So we talked about training. I'm being. I've heard. I don't know if you've seen me in the podcast before. I've talked about. I do fad diets just so I can speak on them. You know,
Yeah,
I've
right
done
on, right on.
I've done the keto. I've done the intermittent fasting. I've done the carnivore. But more so, I just live by a low carb diet, somewhat healthy, clean. You know what I mean? Do you live by any kind of specific diet, any type of lifestyle as far as it comes to eating or anything like that?
I eat pretty clean for the most part. I don't eat any fast food or anything like that. Mostly chicken and vegetables, potatoes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really have to watch what I eat too much because I don't really gain weight easy. So I don't really diet. I just don't eat a lot of junk food at all, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. My body's got to the point now where I'm able to stay away from fried food and sodas for the most part. Don't even really crave. But my problem is I'm type 2 diabetic. Man, I start craving sweets at nighttime. You know what I mean? Here lately, I've been waking up at like 2, 3 a.m. and I need a glass of chocolate milk or some shit.
Yeah, my ice cream is my kryptonite. I just like obsessed with ice cream.
The ice cream eating tattoo and the arm wrestler. That's awesome. So you said you've been an artist for you say 9 years now.
Well, I've owned my own shop for 9 years. I've been tattooing for over 20 years.
Oh no! Now how old are you? Because you
I'm
don't look like
44.
44.
Yeah.
Oh, so you started young. Yeah, nice. Most of you do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I
That,
said, we were hoodlums as kids. You know, I grew up like north of Chicago, so we were always getting ourselves in some mischief.
oh gosh, your wife's throwing you under the bus, man. She says she's a baker, so you get plenty of sweets at the house.
Yeah, she is a baker. She always making all kinds of stuff. She
Nice.
just made me a couple loaves of bread, so I don't have to eat no store-bought crap. You know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, do you have any arm wrestling tattoos on you? I see you got a lot of ink work
I
as well.
do. I have an arm wrestling Grim Reaper. It's not finished yet. It's a cover up.
Nice.
But yeah, it's the table's made out of bones and it's the Grim Reaper.
Now, that was badass, dude. I like that.
Yeah, I just got that one just recently. Otherwise, I haven't really got tattooed in like the last 5 years or so.
Nice. Yeah, I was telling my wife I've got the itch now. My chest is a blank canvas. So right now I'm wanting to do something with it because my whole front side's blank. So I've got too much blankness right now. My back's taken up.
You should
My
come
arms
see me.
taken up. It's addictive, man. Um, so let's get into like the arm wrestling community. I know you and I touched base a little bit. I know what it means near and dear to me, and I'll touch base on it a little bit. But you've been pulling for quite a while now. Being in your line of work too, I'm sure you come across all types of personalities similar to when we're in our events and
Oh
whatnot.
yeah, for
Talk
sure,
about
for
talk
sure.
a lot about like what the arm wrestling community, things you've seen, things you've experienced, goods and bads, and takeaways from the community.
Well, honestly, it's more like a brotherhood, you know. Like I really look forward to like going to practice and seeing all my friends, and it's a lot of different personalities, and you know, it's really nice to have all those different type of people around you, and you know. But arm wrestling kind of saved my life. Like I said, I had a neck fusion. I used to do powerlifting, and I used to be over 200 pounds, and I had that neck fusion and I lost all my muscle. I was 130 pounds for like 4 years.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was really bad. And I just needed to find something to replace powerlifting with because I can't really put a bar on my back anymore and squat and deadlift. And those were my things I did the best. So really, I just started searching and searching. It took me almost a year to find a club. And then once I found a club, I got myself back into shape. Now I feel really good, and like I said, it saved my life. You know,
Yeah,
I was addicted to pain pills really bad. You know, it was pretty bad situation for me.
yeah. I'm in a similar boat where health was extremely bad. I was always competitive in sports growing up, But then as I hit that age, I'm 38, just a little bit behind you, and I hit that age where it's like, I don't play golf, I don't bowl. I need to do something.
Right. Right.
And I've always lifted in the gym, but I've never ate healthy or lived healthy per se. I've always been strong as shit, but I've never been healthy. There's a big difference. You know what I mean? Being active
Yeah.
in the gym and
Sure.
being healthy are two very different things. And
Yeah.
the I found arm wrestling just because I saw a flyer for an event. I was like, hey, I'm strong as hell. I'll go whoop up on these boys. Not at all. Not at all how that went. Not at
I was
all.
getting beat by 15-year-old kids for like the first month I was practicing, and I was so discouraged. I just kept going and got good quick. It took
Yeah.
me only about 6, 8 months to like start winning.
I remember maybe the most humbling, given he's a very good puller, but at the time I didn't know how good he was. Ed Webb out of Tennessee, 154 pounder, great left hand, 154. I didn't know him because I was still very, very, very new in the sport. And he was a 154 and I was a 220, and he flashed me. I'm talking about ugly. I couldn't do nothing but look at the ceiling when it happened. And it was probably the most humbling experience I've ever felt. Now, given I realized how good Ed was later on, so I wasn't quite as down, but I remember that feeling I felt when I got flashed by 154, weighing 220. I was like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, you're like, I got 100 pounds on this kid. Well, how's he beating me?
Yeah. I tell people all the time, like, oh, they say, oh, yeah, size of your arms. I'm sure you're really good. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was like, I've lost to 154s and I've beat 360s. I said, it means nothing. I mean, strength does matter. Don't get me wrong, but me and Jacob Green was talking about it one time. I would give up a lot of my strength for a better hand. Absolutely, because my hand is my weakness, and I'd give up an amount of strength if I could better my hand. Absolutely.
Right. See,
So
that's where I'm the strongest are my hands. I just been using them my whole life.
yeah.
They're extremely
Oh yeah, I'm
strong.
sure. You're right. I guarantee you are really. I bet your grip is insane.
Yeah, the problem is I don't ever let go to slip. Instead of slipping, I just hold on and get pinned.
Yeah, that's I had that bad problem at the beginning too, where people was wanting to slip, and I felt like I was just wanting to not let them slip just to be a jerk. And everybody's like, "Dude, let go! What are you doing? Let them go."
So how long have you been pulling for then?
Just a little over 2 years.
Right on. Cool, man.
Yeah, just a little over 2 years, and I was recreational drug user at the time, heavy, heavy, heavy drinker. Got diagnosed with some health issues that I had to make some serious life changes. Now, when I kicked the drug use some time ago, quite a while back, but recently quit drinking alcohol. So I'm taking the next step into my sobriety, try to better myself from a health standpoint as well as clarity, keeping my mental clarity. So it's
Yeah, arm
yeah,
wrestling just gives you the purpose to do that. That's one of the things I love the most.
and I credit a lot of it to my personal life and family stuff. A lot of it's arm wrestling too, because one of my worst losses that I regret. I'm not going to say which loss it was because I don't want to disrespect the person I went against, but I was really hungover when I pulled him, and no way I lose that match sober. No way do I lose that match sober, and it was an important match. And no way would I lose that match sober. So that really, from an arm wrestling standpoint, that was really the aha moment. And then trying to get my reffing certification, I was like, look at me back here reffing, and I've got 6 empty beer cans at my feet. What kind of example is that setting? Who wants that? Who wants that shithead reffing their matches?
Right.
So kind of just making those improvements. And like I said, I credit that to the arm wrestling community, really.
Man, good for you. That's
Yeah,
that's really good.
yeah. Let's get to talking about we got about 10 minutes left. I know we'll spend a lot of time talking about this particular topic. I was telling you, um, new pullers. Coming from a guy that's been pulling several years, and um, you pull with various teams. Your team that's a 15, Minnesota team that's 20 plus. You see a lot of people cycle through newer guys our age, kids younger, males, females. What advice Time Bomb, would you give somebody new walking into y'all's practice, somebody green, regardless of their sex, their age, what advice do you think you would give them walking
Well,
in?
first of all, just take your time and watch what people are doing and movement, and always look at your hand.
Yeah, that's a critical one. Always looking at your hand. It's one that's I think is said and nobody really keeps listening to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I'm a bad one as well. I'll get in a match and I've got a good sticking point where I hold somebody at like that 10 o'clock and just to bleed them out for a little while because I've got
Right.
to really put more time and focuses on new folks like myself, like the people that's within a couple of years to ensure we're being safe as we can.
I
Um,
didn't. I actually, the first tournament I went to, I didn't compete. I watched and seen how everything was ran before I even decided to make that step, because I really wanted to know what's going on and not go in there blind and get injured.
yeah. Mrs. Derifield gave some great advice. She said, "Stay humble. To no matter what, you can always learn something new. 100%. Be a
Just
sponge."
listen to people, and don't go to practice and try to just be pinning people. Work out, just work positions back and forth. Don't try to pin everybody. That's how you end up getting injured, because you don't know what you're doing, and that ego lift almost.
So my team, we all started relatively at the same time inside of 2 years, and that's one area you just hit spot on. I'm glad you brought it up. That we've been working on is quit going past 10-2 in practice. There is no point in hitting. There's no point in hurting one another and going all out necessarily. You can go full strength in a slow pull without having to hit to a pin, and
Yeah, for sure.
and that's one thing we're working more on our hand, working to a grip, racing to a grip, going to 10-2, keeping it inside of there, full out 10-2, but quit trying to pin and take them to a negative. There's no sense in that really. Not in
Yeah,
practice.
it's basically just trying to get fluent on the table, so you know where how to move your elbows and hands and all the different positions, like to counter people and all the good stuff.
The one area that I wish I mentioned on it. I'm not sure a lot of the experience with your teams, but as I said, my whole team is it's about six of us. We are all within that 2 year range. But if I had to do it all over again, I don't know that I would have started a team versus us traveling and practicing with more experienced pullers, veterans that could teach us more before we ventured off into our own team.
That's what I did. I trained with a team for over a year and a half. And then, gradually people kept on asking me about it and building up. And then we kind of split off, and then I started teaching people. And now the people that I was teaching are great teachers and doing very well.
So Danny Atkins asked a question. I don't know this name, Time Bomb, but you may know Tony Katowski. He's asking if you've ever trained with a Tony Katowski.
I'm not sure. Sounds familiar.
He Danny gets around, so maybe he's a Minnesota guy, Illinois guy up your way or something like that. That's why he's probably asking.
I'm so bad with names because I'm constantly tattooing different people every day and meeting people. I'm not the best with remembering names, but
Yeah.
that name does sound very familiar.
So have you ever pulled any of your clients? Have you ever had to see the, have you ever had pullers come to you because they've met you through the arm wrestling community to get work done?
I have a table set up in the middle of my tattoo shop at all times, and I have weights in the back. So basically, we're training there half the day too if we're not doing something. So I actually had this monster 6 foot freaking 9 dude come in and challenge me, and I couldn't pin him, but I was able to hold him till he got tired to beat him. And he's like, "What the heck, dude? How'd you do that?" I just held on for dear life, man.
They said Tony he's a wild guy, WAL puller, and yeah, they thought he was from Minnesota, so that's where that question came from. Um,
Okay.
so I tell you what, we'll take the last couple of minutes, Tom Bomb. Go ahead and plug your events you've got coming up. So yeah, anybody that's gonna be in the Minnesota area, please listen. Exploding all those bomb squads got some great things going on. Go ahead and plug your event.
So next tournament is going to be August 3rd at Max's Bar and Grill in Ham Lake, Minnesota. It should be a pretty big deal. I'm thinking we're going to have over 300 pullers there. It's going to be a pretty big event.
And you're gonna
Got
be
some
doing
good super matches. We got 5 super matches, and yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting.
and this is a traditional weight classes.
Yeah,
Men,
traditional.
women, masters. Y'all do teens, youth as well.
Yeah, yep.
Awesome.
They get to compete for free and all that. And then the week after that, we're actually going to Orlando for that East versus West tournament. We already got tickets and
Nice.
hotels and all that stuff.
That's gonna be badass, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
I'm
card.
kind of bummed because I'm going to be sore from my tournament and my super match, but whatever. If
Also,
I lose, at least I get to meet all the greats.
so your wife just said Uncle John's actually pulling at y'all's event.
Oh yeah, he's pulling there too. He actually pulled Jeff Dabe at our last event. That was a pretty awesome match.
Now he had a hell of a match with Roger Learned at Knuckles Up.
Yeah, I seen that.
He had a
That
hell
was
of a
pretty
match.
awesome.
He's good for show, man. Uncle John's good for. He's really good for show.
Yeah, he's also going to be announcing our event. He did our last event for us too.
Very
So
nice. Been around a while. Uncle John been
yeah,
around.
he's killing it. His match is actually against Connor Ballou, I think his last name is. He's our number 1 overall guy, and so they're gonna battle out for the number 1 spot.
Well, shit.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Are you going to live stream that by chance?
yeah, we're gonna live stream it on our Bomb Squad YouTube channel.
All right, so y'all look, go follow Bomb Squad's YouTube channel. Seriously, guys, obviously they're doing some great things. I look at this. This is how we got started because I saw a lot of similarity in Silverback Arms Crew and Bomb Squad and what Timebomb, his wife, and their team's doing to really get their promotion going. Support them as well. Subscribe to their page. Really look out, follow them on Facebook, and go ahead and keep an eye out for everything they're doing. Obviously, they're doing some good things with some good names as well. Shaun, thank you so much for hopping on, taking time away. Thank you, Mrs. Derifield, for tuning in and giving us some information as well. I love what y'all doing. Please keep it up. And y'all also plug to Time Bomb's daughter, Lexi. Go follow her as well. Obviously, she's
Oh,
doing
she's a
great things
beast.
in
You got
the
to
state of
follow her.
Minnesota. Seriously, as soon as we log off and we'll follow her, especially being that young and growing, I'm anxious to see her, man. So, y'all be sure to tune in to their event in August on their live stream. Anything else you'd like to say, Time Bomb, before we head on?
No, I think that's it, bud. Just thanks for having me. This was really awesome experience, and I'm sure I'll be doing many more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll definitely have you back on. Thank you all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
All right, have a good night, brother.